Some editors charge $150 for an edit, while other editors get paid thousands for almost the same video. And honestly, most of the difference comes down to tiny decisions people barely notice. Maybe the reaction shot starts 3 frames too late. Perhaps the sound effect hangs around too long, or the music completely kills the tension. 2 editors from my email list sent me their cuts. So I'm dragging them into Final Cut Pro and re-editing them live to show you what actually makes a video feel expensive. And we're gonna start with this one first.
We are outside the Delta Center for the Utah Mammoths' first home playoff game in franchise history.
Oh my gosh, I'm getting assaulted over here. Can I file a cease and desist? What is this? Oh my gosh, I'm not trying to be mean, but like, this hurts. Captions are kind of a cheat code because they allow you to cut super fast, but since there's text there telling you what they're saying, it makes everything feel coherent. But the problem is, this footage is so fast that my brain isn't even looking at the captions. And it's not even a problem about where everything is located in the frame, because a lot of times when people cut fast, they show something in the center, and then they show it on the left side, and then the right side, and your eye is just bouncing around. Ugh. But in this case, we have the gentleman in the center, then they cut to this building that's right in the center, then they cut to this hockey match, everybody's in the center, then they cut to these 2 characters, they're in the center, these guys are in the center, this guy's in the center, he's in the center. They actually framed everything perfectly so that your eye doesn't have to travel a bunch. And look, these graphics are nice. You got a nice glow going, the assets are high quality, pretty colors, it looks good. So what's really going on here? Well, your brain simply has too much to look at. Think about all the things that my brain is handling as an audience member in the first 5 seconds of this video. I am being spammed with information, which tells me that you don't believe in the footage itself. There are 6 cuts in the first 5 seconds of the video. That is fast. Since I can't stretch this footage beyond what's been given to me, I'm gonna do a little stupid trick. I'm gonna identify all the B-roll clips in the first 5 seconds that actually trigger an emotion. These 2 are very important because we're showing the 2 teams. Definitely need that. We've got him yelling in a large crowd. That's high emotion. We've got him standing there. I'll give it a pass because you do want to reconnect it back to the speaker. And this wide shot is perfect because it looks like we're looking at a gladiator battle. So I love that. Perfect, perfect. Okay, look, we understand you're outside the Delta Center. Who cares? What they clicked on is they want to see the players play. So instead of having the Delta Center there, what we're going to do is stretch this clip out here. We're going to stretch it out nice and good. Now, obviously, I wish I didn't have to do slow-mo, but hey, take what you can get. Gonna add some optical float, cinema. When you're doing super fast cuts, you want to kind of maintain a certain rhythm so that the brain doesn't have to work way too hard to actually enjoy the fast cutting. Now, this is a very high impact clip, and I'm considering moving it earlier. No, snap out of it. Snap out of it. I went into a delirious state. No. They clicked on a video. What's the title of this gosh darn video? We rated the first ever Utah Mammoth home playoff game. That's one heck of a title. Okay, I feel as though that the audience clicked on this because they want to see the teams and the playoffs, and that's what they're really focusing on. This has a strong emotion, but we shouldn't use it as the leading clip. It's a great emotion, but it actually acts as a sign-off, which means that it's gonna hit harder after he says this.
In franchise history.
He stops talking for a little bit and just lets the crowd roar to show how important this event is. It's very important that the edit shows scale to show that this is worth your time. It's worth paying attention to. So I'm gonna leave that as is. This shot is in slow-mo and this one is in regular speed. I would want something that's not in slow motion for this clip. Think about all the times you've looked up a very viral sports highlight clip. Yes, they have slow motion, but most of the time they show you the play first in real time. Then they show you slow motion. So if I'm the editor and I want to build the most intrigue and most excitement, I want to open up with all these non-slow-mo shots. I don't want anything slow. I want everything to feel real and visceral. Notice it's not that big of a change that we have to make, but I need you to realize the fact that I didn't just say, oh, let's slow these cuts down, and that's all there was to it. No, I was focusing on which shots were giving the greatest emotion and what order and progression of those shots will lead to the greatest total emotion.
Since Ryan Smith brought hockey to Utah, the city has embraced it in a way that nobody saw coming.
Okay, what? Yo. If you watch my videos, you should not be doing this. Confusion is the #1 killer of retention. When things are moving fast, everything needs to make sense in a short period of time. So look at this shot here. What am I looking at? I've got 2 captions on screen. I get what you're doing. You're trying to merge news headlines with the B-roll to try and make it important. But the thing is, if you try to make everything special, nothing is special. So right here, what do you care about the most? Do you care about showing this gentleman and the caption, or do you want the news headline? And I feel like if you had a killer news headline that really just goes, oh, and you highlighted the text, that could be more impactful than just showing this guy standing there. So let's see, Utah's ready for a team. Can I find anything about that? Okay, so this is from the NHL. I'm not even into sports and I know who the frick they are. You're telling me you didn't add the credibility of the NHL saying that? If you want this to feel like the most credible thing, and let's see, how long is this shot? Because we ain't got much to work with. 23 frames, I'm about to drop dead, bruh. This is too much going on. Okay, what is that shot, by the way? That was like filmed on a stapler. That is insane. I want hockey to feel rough and fast. Show me the speed. Show me the rage. This doesn't show me any of that. It's slow and it's choppy and it's ugh. Okay, have we shown hockey enough? We did a wide shot, we did closer up shots, but they're just hugging. They aren't playing hockey. And then we show the crowd. So we have not shown enough on the ground hockey yet. So this shot right here is important to keep. I gotta keep it, gosh darn it. Okay, NHL, the NHL. This looks kind of ugly and stupid. What do I do? I got 2 ads around me. What am I supposed to do? I got a cookie, I got a pop-up window at the bottom. Oh, this is egregious. Let's go. I'm about to take an 8K screenshot and you can't do nothing about it. Gotcha. Download, yes. Okay, let's go to Canva. Let's play some Wordle. What you talking about? Aorta? Okay, I'll be back. Let's see. 340 by 1080, 2160. Yeah, that's fresh out the dome. What's the name of it? Hockey. No, let's spell it the cool way. Hockey. All my One Piece people will get that reference. Okay, we want credibility. What are we gonna do? We're gonna get the NHL right at the top. Cinema. Now, let's get this gosh darn headline. We're trying to get rid of as much stuff on this website as possible so the audience knows what to look at, so we can guide the retention. Okay, what type of graphic are we going for? I'm starting to see the vision. Let's round the edges. No, let's not round the edges. I'm actually good on that. We're gonna put this box behind there, try and make it look pretty. Okay, that scared the crap out of me. I heard the door open, but nobody's here. I'm home alone. Look, I'm telling you guys, I always say that you need to stop focusing on making the prettiest VFX. That doesn't mean you can't make it look pretty. It doesn't mean you have to deliberately make it look ugly. No. You just want everything to be fully understandable in a short period of time. So that's what we're gonna do. Discuss his name of team. Okay, that's too much to read in a short period of time. So what we're gonna do is take that little sub headline away. Is there anything we can add to boost some credibility? Because it looks a bit too simple for a news source. Let's see, is there some sort of a picture they put on that thing? Oh, cinema, okay. Let's round these edges, see what happens. This stupid thing, can I please only round the top edges? Oh my gosh. I'm getting too perfectionist with it, I gotta stop. Download the freaking thing. Oh, wait a minute. If we're trying to get paid higher rates, we need to take some initiative here. We can't just do the bare minimum. I'm gonna add a rack focus, make it all blurry and stuff. Then we're gonna make it dark. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Let's do a little Ken Burns so we build some intrigue with the camera slowly zooming in on it like, ooh. Then we're gonna add a little animation so it pops up at the bottom. I want the audience to focus on this line. Utah's ready for a team.
Since Ryan Smith brought hockey to Utah, the city has embraced it in a way that nobody saw coming. Since Ryan Smith brought hockey to Utah, the city has embraced it in a way that nobody saw coming.
It's still a little fast, but I really can't do much because all of this gosh darn footage is just cut so quickly. I can barely move stuff around without messing everything else up. But I like this animation because it's not so obvious that it draws all your attention, but it's enough to be like, ooh, that took effort. I like that. And I'm gonna give you guys a little hint that I've heard from many clients I've worked with. If you can just get the intro perfect, they tend to give you less changes, less notes, because they assume the rest is perfect, even if it's not. So put your heart and soul into the intro by making sure things are clear and understandable and build curiosity. Notice how I didn't just say spam the audience with a bunch of stuff that looks kind of cool. No. Make sure it has emotional value.
So who are we exchanging here?
William Carlson.
Wild Bill.
But Wild Bill.
Okay, the music is mid. We gotta fix it. It's just a little trap beat going on in the background. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build some curiosity with something a bit more playful. I'm gonna export this little part right here, dialogue, drop that thing into Podcast Enhancer. Yeah. And now we wait. Finally. Turn that speech down, turn that background down, turn that music down.
So who are we exchanging here?
Oh wait, not the background.
I believe the exchange is a blank.
It is a
jersey.
blank.
Cinema. Okay, let's see if we could steal. I'm literally gonna steal this from one of the edits I'm already working on for a client. Look at this timeline. Oh my gosh. Oh, it's so beautiful. I can't wait to be done with you. Nope. That could work. That's pretty intriguing. That's more magical. I want something a little more comedic. I actually like that. Okay, go, paste that, close that, because that thing is gonna infect the computer. Let's see how this one sounds.
So who are we exchanging here?
William Carlson.
Wild Bill.
But Wild Bill.
Dude, that already sounds way better to me. It builds more curiosity, and you give the dialogue more of a pass to continue watching. The thing is, it's very easy for trap music to just become music for the sake of music. It's not really trying to trigger an emotion, it's just meant to be there to occupy space. And that's not good, because when things feel half-hearted, the paycheck gets half-hearted.
That's awesome. I mean, I can't believe, look at the line.
It's kind of insane.
It's madness.
I gotta say, I like the sound design and the speed ramp of that sequence because it really showed the scale of just how many people this is. This is insane. So, very well done.
I feel like when Vegas came to town, it was like, that's the closest team to Utah.
Okay, I'm about to give you some sauce. Listen to how this guy sounds right here.
That's awesome. I mean, I can't believe, look at the line.
And then listen to him right here.
I feel like when Vegas came to town, it was like,
Now, I understand if he started yelling and screaming that naturally the dialogue would get louder, but he is talking at the exact same level, so why does his calm voice sound different here and there? It should be the same. Sure, not every audience member watching this on a TV is gonna notice or care that much, but it's one of those things where elite editors care about the stuff that most people don't care about. And that's why they're able to charge higher rates, because they are a smaller pool of people.
So every single game, we buy a jersey, and if that person scores a goal, if that player scores a goal, someone is getting a free sweater of that player. All you have to do is subscribe to the channel, and all that player has to do is score a goal, which has been harder than it should have been. So tonight, any guess? Mr. Team USA gold medalist Clayton Keller. So if Clayton Keller scores a goal tonight,
Do we not care about cold viewers at all? What about the people that are just watching this video for the first time like me? I want to see a shot of this Keller gentleman doing some hockey stick stuff. Show me something. Don't just show me a shirt for 20 seconds. I want to see the guy. It's 53 seconds long, and it just stretches and stretches, and then it cuts to a little website. That looks nice. I like that. That could have been a much more engaging 53 seconds.
It was such a good experience. It's our #1 on-campus college football Snapback Saturdays experience.
There's been 3 plugs in 2 minutes and 40 seconds. They're good plugs because they're subtle and they have to do with what he's talking about. But it is one of those things where if I start focusing on all these other videos, it kind of makes me want to click off and check those videos out if they seem even slightly better, which you kind of want that, but you want them to finish the first video first, then click off. Because if they click off at the 4-minute mark of a 22-minute video, yikers, YouTube is not gonna like that. So you should pick the strongest out of the 3 or the strongest 2 out of the 3 rather than just constant nonstop, just like, hey, here's another video we made. Hey, here's another video we made. Hey, here's another, because it can wear on the audience a little bit.
So one of the tough things about coming here is they don't really do the stiff pour double thing in Utah.
I like that. That looks clean. It looks good. Okay.
Least appreciate they put it in a small thing. If it was that lack of booze in a bigger cup, that'd be way more of a red flag.
Hey, that made me laugh. I like how there's certain things done with the editing that are unexpected but not over the top. I appreciate when those are done.
The drinking culture, I think around the arena will be more buzzing.
And then we've continued the same song into the next clip. This is something that a lot of editors don't seem to understand, but it will change your edits for the better if you can just remember it. He's been playing the same music for a couple minutes, and then we go to the next scene and he's still playing the same music. That's how you make your audience feel trapped in an elevator. Even if the words are progressing, even if the story is interesting, the music is making it grind to a halt because it feels as though you're not making any progress. So in this case, it would have been perfect to switch the music when the scene changed. But even better is to switch the music slightly before the scene changes because it pulls them into the next scene. But that's only one piece of the puzzle. You shouldn't just be changing the music when the scene changes. You should change it when the emotion changes. And once you get really advanced, you can start using music that is the opposite of how the character on screen is feeling. So then it's gonna create a new feeling in the audience that they didn't expect from something as simple as a sports review. All right, it's time to move on to the second edit.
And I don't want to be working in ballet.
What? How am I only 1 frame into the video and there's already a problem? I don't understand. This is a cold open where they just drop you into the story and hope that it hooks you. So I get it. I understand what you're doing here. The problem is it starts with the word and.
And I don't want to be working in ballet.
Which removes some of the punch from this opening line. And notice you didn't caption "and I don't want to be working in." No, you captioned the most important part, which is "I don't want to be working." So with that logic, the dialogue should start right about here, and it sounds like this.
I don't want to be working in ballet or opera. Sorry.
Oh, that was embarrassing. I'll tell you the truth.
I like this editing style. This is creative. The thing that always gets me about the editors that come to me and they're like, hey, how do I fix my rates? How do I charge more and all that stuff? Is that most of the time they have a very nice editing style. There's just problems in it around the psychology and the storytelling that make it less enjoyable to watch, and it makes their videos forgettable. This looks very beautiful. I mean, I love the grain that's added on it, and the music is really good too. The editor could have easily gone over the top with the music where he has this dun 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 ah! Right when he says the line that got him canceled. But the music makes me feel as though I'm not just getting some random analysis of internet drama. This feels like it's going to be a more in-depth, more intellectual breakdown of what happened here. So it's very interesting how the music and the cutting and the filters that are placed on the footage can manipulate my emotions in that way to make me feel, before this lady even says a word, that this is a higher production value and that this is important.
Now that a couple of weeks have passed.
Oh my gosh, I did not expect to say this in an editing breakdown. But here it is. I literally have an entire lesson about this in the Academy. Your editing can only be as good as your client's on-camera performance. And the problem with I love this freaking sequence. I don't know, it's just getting me, man. It's just oozing style. Even though this looks like it's lower production value, this takes significant effort to pull off. But the thing about it is that the editing of the start of the video makes it so that even though I'm seeing this as lower production value, it's goofy, it's comedy, I still feel as though this is a higher class video. And it's because the music selection and how everything was pre-framed with the editing in the intro. There's a chance that if the video started with these graphics, I may not know how to feel about them because I'm like, wait, is this gonna be a video that never takes itself seriously? No. It waited until the right moment to start these unique graphics so that they actually hit and you can trust them. Man, I love this.
Even after I switched careers.
Oh, sorry. But here's the problem. Your editing can only be as good as your client's on-camera performance. Look at her eyes here. You can see her eyes move as she's reading, which means she's reading a teleprompter. And if you don't think the audience knows that you're reading a teleprompter when your eyes go like this all the time, trust me, they know. So if I'm editing this woman's videos, I would do the research for the client. So instead of being like, hey, this is a problem that you gotta figure out, you gotta fix, your problem now. No. I'm gonna take initiative on this. I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna be like, okay, wait, if we shrink the text right over the lens, then her eyes aren't gonna shift as much. And then she's gonna come across more natural on camera. Boom, send her a message. And now she is blown away because she's like, oh my gosh, I feel like I look so much more natural on camera. And now you, as the editor, have better footage to work with. All because you called out the elephant in the room. Why is she looking like that when she's supposed to be looking at us? It doesn't even look like she's looking into my eyes, which means that I feel a degree of separation from her. And audience connection is the strongest thing that you need if you want people to keep coming back to your YouTube videos.
Now that a couple of weeks have passed and I've cooled down, I don't feel angry anymore. Just secondhand embarrassment.
Wait, what? I always have a couple of goobers in the comments. They're like, you're only looking at the stuff that doesn't matter. What really matters is VFX and and that's it. No, listen, buddy, pay attention. This matters. When you have a 6-frame accidental cut in the edit where it looks like the person is jump cutting in place right before the graphic comes up, it looks less professional. So what we're gonna do, right? We're just gonna stretch it out. Yeah, I'm gonna slow it down like that. Yeah. Okay, boom. It took 3 seconds of my time to fix that. You guys should be rewatching your edits a ton of times before sending them to the client so that the only thing that the client has to fix is just structural things or things they prefer, not glitches.
I don't want my channel to be about belittling others and sitting on a high horse as if I never shat the bed.
I have shat the bed. Thank you for that. Thank you for reminding me. You know, I gotta remember where I came from, bro.
Plenty of idiotic nonsense I ardently regret.
Finger wagging.
If I had a penny for every time I put my foot in my mouth, I'd need an entire vault to store all of that change.
Speaking of the vault, if you're watching this and starting to recognize these little leaks in your own edits, this is exactly what I teach inside Elite Editor Academy. We go much deeper into the psychology behind pacing, music, storytelling, and client trust, so you can make these decisions without constantly second-guessing yourself. I'll leave a link below if you want to check it out. And if you're not ready for the Academy, I put 12 of my biggest viral editing lessons into a free guide below.
Timmy making an ass of himself on livestream may have cost him an Oscar and attracted a lot of very public criticism.
The music is very good here. It's like reflective, but I fear that we may be reflecting for too long. What we could do is when she says shat the bed, we can cut the music out there and then switch it. I'm gonna do a cheat code though. I'm about to get a, I ain't going to Epidemic Sound. What you talking about? I'm about to go to a freaking world-class Mariucker. What is it called? What's her name? It's not Nicki Minaj. What's that girl's name? Black female actress. Dude, come on. Is this really how I have to narrow it down? Go to images, lock me in. She's gotta be here. Please, what is her name? It's not Nicki Minaj. Duh, TED Talk. What? Supergirl bombs as Millie Alcock nukes box office? What do you mean? What does she do? It's not even out yet. TED Talk. Oh my gosh, she just made a TED Talk. It's been all over my feed. I haven't watched it. Where is it? Where's it? There it is. Oh my gosh, Keke Palmer. Thank you. Now, what am I looking for? I love boosters. Oh my gosh, that connection is finally there. Golly, brain, what are you doing? Nope. Nope. Oh, this song is cinema. Bro, just soak it in. Dude, I feel like I'm being born for the first time after hearing that. This was the leitmotif of that movie, by the way, so I was loving it. They played it like 8 times, never got boring, always was a hit, always a banger. Speech, background, music, download, cinema.
She doesn't live inside the binary of what we think a woman should be.
Okay. Dogs are better than people because they don't talk.
If only she followed her own advice and shut up, maybe Supergirl wouldn't be bombing as bad as it is right now, with the tracking looking disastrous.
Yeah, who is this dude?
Hollywood.
Okay, let's go ahead and paste that. So let's see if this song works. Let's see if we could take the music out when she says as if, so that we can have a little comedic cut.
Littling others and sitting on a high horse as if I never shat the bed. After all, in my 38 years of life, I've said plenty of idiotic nonsense I ardently regret. If I had a penny for every time I put my foot in my mouth, I'd need an entire vault to store all of that change, because dear Lord, I am not above it.
At the very start of the video, she has electronic classical music. Then she switches to another classical track, and then she switches to ambient music. So it only makes sense for me to pick up the pace a little bit. Let's make things feel a little bit faster and a little bit more tense, because she's describing the times that she's done foolish things. And as she keeps talking, more instruments get added to the track, so it starts to feel even more suspenseful, like it's building towards something, which it is.
I grew up backstage at the New York City Ballet.
Oh my gosh. We are in the modern age of cinema, and I still have to put up with listening to audio clips only in my left ear. How many times do I have to teach you this lesson, old man? Switch it to dual mono, you see? And that sounds like this.
I grew up backstage at the New York City Ballet. My grandmother danced in the New York City Ballet, my mother danced in the New York City Ballet, my sister danced in the New York City Ballet.
I just don't think.
What the frick? What are we doing? Now we have 2 random frames just spliced in on the cut. Just flash frame it. Just like, you don't need that friction in your edits. It shouldn't be there at all when it's time for the client to watch. The only thing they should be looking at is the story, the immersion, the experience, and the value of the video. That's it. They should not be looking for glitches. They should not be panicking about glitches. Like, oh, I wonder what the new glitch of the week is gonna be. No. Oh, you're caring about the wrong things. This doesn't matter. It's just 1 frame glitch. Oh yeah? So where do we draw the line? Is it just when it happens 1 time? Or what about 3 freaking times in the first 3 minutes of the video? If you miss this minor detail in editing, these little glitches and stuff, what else are you missing? What else are you not having the greatest attention to detail on? What are you getting lazy on in your editing?
Active participation from our brains than a movie, especially today's movies, which are written to be understood by an audience that is distracted by their phones half of the time.
I like how quiet the sound design is. It's almost like the sound design is ASMR. It's very soothing and relaxing to the ears. So that is very well done. You can tell this is an experienced editor. I tend to be harsher with editors that I can tell they know what they're doing. They are competent, they can handle getting a spanking because they are good at editing. They're just letting certain things slide that they shouldn't. And that's part of the problem and what holds editors back from charging more. It's simple mistakes adding up into a larger sea of mistakes. Still doesn't take away the fact that I really like this edit, so. Now you've seen the decisions a $2,000 editor makes, but can normal people actually tell the difference? I tested a $20 edit against a $2,000 edit. Click here to see if they got it right.